Are you frustrated by always having to compete on price? Are you sick and tired of having to go to marketplaces and bid against dozens or maybe even hundreds of other agency owners just to try to land some projects? And then probably when you get those projects, you find that the clients are very demanding. They're not very happy with your work. You feel like you can't spend as much time as you'd like on the project because they're not paying you what you deserve. And so then you feel guilty because you're not doing the best quality of work. If that is you, these next few minutes are going to be profound in terms of the way you price your services. Look, as the founder of the Agency Accelerator, this is one of the biggest problems I see agency owners face. When they're starting out, they always think they have to compete on price. And here's the reality. If you're competing on price, then you cannot scale your agency. It is a non-scalable agency. And what I'm about to teach you in just a second is what we call the value bridge. And it's going to show you how to, in an instant, go from competing on price to actually competing for value and the value you bring to your clients. So if that's you, keep watching because I'm about to show you exactly how to implement this basic, simple strategy. And once you do, the impacts are profound. They will take you from struggling to competing over price to actually having high value clients who pay you what you're worth. So you love working with them and they respect you. They respect your time. They respect your efforts. They respect what you do and your agency does for them. So when you think about pricing, by default, we tend to think about pricing from our perspective. And we tend to think about how we would want someone to give us a deal or we'd want somebody to give us a discount in order possibly to do business with us. And here's the thing, when you're an agency owner, when you're selling to other business owners, the lowest price is not what they're after. They are actually after the highest value for the services that get offered. And so mentally, we have to shift the way we think about this. We can't think about competing in price. Instead, we need to think about how do I show that I can deliver way more value to my clients than any of my competitors. And this framework, this value bridge that I'm about to lay out for you, is going to show you exactly how to do that. So let's jump in. So the value bridge is how do we go from over here, which is a low price provider, to over here, which is a high dollar provider where we're earning what we know we're worth, what our agency is worth to the prospects and the value we bring to them. So in order to move from a low value provider to a high value provider, there's going to be three simple questions that you're going to engineer and carefully engineer these into your process of doing a needs assessment when you meet with them to discover their needs and their challenges and all of those things. So again, I talk about this a lot in the Agency Accelerator, but you have to have a well-structured needs assessment. The goal of your needs assessment is, number one, obviously to figure out what they need, right? What services they truly need when they come to you. But number two, when your needs assessment is well-structured and scripted, what it does is it immediately positions you in your agency as the only logical choice. So you're going to want to work this into your needs assessment in the meeting that you do there. So there's going to be three questions that we're going to cover to cross this value bridge. Question number one is, let's just say, for example, that your agency, you do web design. That's what your agency does. So the question is simply this: Mr. or Miss Prospect, how is this website going to help you reach your goal? That is it. So what you want to do is you want to tie the thing that you do to their specific goal. So maybe it's a revenue goal, or maybe it's a number of signups to a nonprofit, or whatever their case may be. What is the goal that they're after? And you're going to tie the thing that they're contacting you about, a website in this example, you're going to tie that to their goal. So you're going to say, Mr. Miss Prospect, how is this website actually going to help your agent or your business reach its goal? How's it going to do that? That's the first question you're going to ask. And when you ask this question, you're probably already aware of this, but when you ask this question, you're going to immediately stand out from 99% of the competitors. Because most competitors are just thinking about the design, the layout, the structure, how many pages, all of this thing on the website. So they start asking those types of questions, but not you, right? You're going to build an agency that scales, and you're going to do that by delivering on value. So question number one, again, is How is this going to help you reach your goal? Question number two is, Mr. or Miss Prospect, how will you measure? How will you know if the website that we're building for you is actually bringing you closer to your goal? So what we're doing with this question is we're saying, look, we're serious about building something that is going to help you reach your goal. We want your website to help increase your revenue if that's their goal. So you're going to then ask them, how are they going to measure that? How will they know old website versus new website? How will they know which of those two is better? Which is performing better? What are the metrics that they're going to be looking at? And this is critical for you, because as you think about designing it, you can think through how they're going to actually measure the thing that you build so that you can build it in such a way that it delivers on those results, right? So that is question number two. And then question number three is this, Mr. and Miss Prospect, if we build a website that helps you reach your goal, and it clearly helps you reach your goal because of X, Y, and Z, the things that you just told us you're going to measure based on, if it helps you do those things, what would this new website be worth to you? What is this actually worth to you if it does this, if it helps you reach your goal and it clearly demonstrates that it's bringing the value, it's bringing you closer to that goal? So you're going to kind of put them on the spot with this question. Now, this question, again, it's not really that we're looking for an answer directly from them. What we're trying to do with these three questions is we're trying to anchor the value in what we do, not in terms of the price that we provide, not in terms of the number of pages or number of hours or any of those things. What we're anchoring our price to is the thing that matters most to them, right? It's their goal. And when you can learn to anchor your pricing to what matters most to them, whether that's achieving a goal or whether that may be solving a problem. So in the web example, maybe you go to a client and maybe they have an issue where they have hundreds of job applicants every single month, and the way they get them right now is maybe people email them to them. And so maybe through the website, you can propose a solution where people can submit applications online, right? So that would be a problem that your website could solve for them. So you would then take that problem, they say, look, we get 200 job applicants every single month. We have to sort them by email. We have to download the PDFs. We have to, reach back out to people. And so you say, okay, what if we could build you an application where people could submit their job apps online? Would that be a measure? Would that be something that would get you closer to your goal? That would help you eliminate a problem, right? Because let's just say they're spending 20 hours a month dealing with all these applications. Well, with what you build them, you're going to probably save them 15 hours or more every single month. So then you shift that over to the question. If I'm able to do this, if our website does these things, saves you this time, helps funnel and filter, whatever the applications, what is that worth to you? Again, the magic of this is not necessarily in the questions, but it's in the positioning of you and your agency, right? Because no one else, I can tell you, 99% of your competitors are not going to use these types of value questions. Instead, they're going to be focused on the deliverables. So if you're tired and frustrated from constantly competing on price, shift to value, shift to understanding what their problems are. Use these three simple questions called the value bridge. Use them strategically, right, in your needs assessment meeting. Use them there, and what's going to happen is you're going to start charging way higher prices because, again, you're anchoring yourself not to a cost. What's the website cost? You're anchoring it to an outcome, whether that's a problem solved or a goal achieved.